Welcome to this video session. In this video session, we are going to discuss about the integrator. I already told you that op-amps are used for different mathematical operations. One of the mathematical operation is integration and differentiation. Here, by using the op-amp, we are going to integrate and differentiate the signals using some reactive elements like capacitor and inductors. So, we are going to take a simple inverting amplifier. In an inverting amplifier, we will have an input as well as a feedback signal. So let's go to the board. Consider an inverting amplifier. So where the input resistance will be connected like this, and this will be the feedback resistance, and the non-inverting terminal will be grounded, and the input will be given to the inverting terminal. This is the simple inverting amplifier circuit diagram. Okay, so in this inverting amplifier circuit diagram, I am going to remove this feedback resistance. Instead of that feedback resistance, I am going to replace with a capacitor. So that is CF. By placing this capacitor CF in the feedback side of the op-amp, I am going to convert the corresponding input signal into integrated value of that. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss. The corresponding op-amp circuit diagram for integration process is shown here. Okay, this is the input V in and this is the output V naught. In between the resistance RIN or RIN or R1, anything you can consider, and this is the feedback capacitor. Okay, CF. So this is the input current. So as you know that for an ideal op-amp, okay, the current flowing through the op-amp will be zero. So the whatever the current given to the circuit will flow through feedback circuit only, so that the current input current will flow through that capacitance. So this current is also called as IC. So from this circuit diagram, if you implement the current law, the corresponding input current is equal to corresponding capacitor current. Input current is equal to corresponding capacitor current. The input current can be written as, so V in minus 0. So consider this is node A. So at this node A, the corresponding voltage VA is equal to 0. Okay, so according to the virtual grounding concept, the corresponding VA will be considered 0. So this equation can be written as V in minus VA by R is equal to IC. So this is the equation where VA will be considered as 0. So the equation will become V in minus R is equal to IC. Okay. So fundamental capacitor current. How to get the capacitor current? So we know that the corresponding charge in a capacitor can be given as Q is equal to CV. And we know that dQ by dt is equal to the corresponding charge with respect to the time, it will be equal to the current flowing through the capacitor. So the IC can be represented as IC is equal to dQ by dt is equal to C into dV by dt. C into dV by dt. This is the voltage across the capacitor, so we can represent it VC, where VC is nothing but capacitor voltage. So the IC can be represented as IC is equal to C into dVC by dt. So if you substitute that equation here, so the equation will become V in by R is equal to C into dVC by dt. Here if you see the capacitor voltage, okay, this is the capacitor voltage VC and this is V0. Okay, so the corresponding capacitor voltage can be represented as VC is equal to, at this point voltage will be VA minus V out. VA minus V out. That is the capacitor voltage. We can consider from this node to this node. Okay, VA minus V out. So VA will be 0, 0 minus V out. So capacitor voltage can be represented as minus V out. If you substitute that, you will get V in divided by R. V in divided by R is equal to C into d by dt of minus V out. That is nothing but V naught, output voltage. So if you see the equation, simplify the equation, V in divided by R is equal to minus C into dV naught divided by dt. So if you simplify this equation further, Okay, so dV naught by dt, dV out by dt is equal to 1 by, this can be represented as CF, capacitance, okay, feedback capacitance. Okay, so capacitor is feedback capacitor. So I am representing as CF, okay, in order to avoid the confusion. Okay, so 1 by R in and CF. This is I am going to represent it as R in. Okay, input resistance. R in is nothing but input resistance. So 1 by R in into CF into V in. So this is the equation. Now if you take integrate in the both sides, so you will get V out is equal to, the output voltage equation is equal to integral of, sorry, I am forget the negative sign symbol. So minus 1 by R in CF. So minus 1 by R in CF into V in of t, time with respect to time, and dt. Okay, the corresponding integral of V is equal to V of t into dt, integral of V of t dt. So now the voltage equation can also be written as, where this capacitance and resistance value is constant. So the V out can be written as V out is equal to minus 1 by R in CF integral of V in of t dt. So this is the corresponding output voltage equation for the integrator. This is how the corresponding voltage equation derived for the integrator circuit. So from this equation, we have to understand that the output of the integrator circuit will be integral of the input signal, as well as it depends upon the resistance and capacitance. What is the resistance, effect of resistance? Let's see. If you are giving a constant input like this, if you are giving a constant input like this, input for an integrator, okay, for an integrator, if you are giving a constant input like this, the corresponding output of that circuit will be like this. When you give a constant input, okay, so this will be the integral of any constant will be 1. So the corresponding voltage minus this voltage will be provided. So according to the R and C, this combination resistance and reactance combination will be represented in a linear way. So the corresponding output will be flow like this. When the corresponding output voltage reaches the saturated value, after that there will be no increases and it will keep on flow like this. So the time period till the output voltage reaches the saturated, it depends upon the value of Ri and Cf. According to the value of input resistance and the feedback capacitor, the slope value will be defined. Even though whatever the slope value is there, when the capacitor output voltage reaches the saturated voltage, after that there will be no further increment in the output voltage. So the saturated voltage will be provided in the system. So during this time period, what will happen? The corresponding capacitor will be open circuited. Okay, so during that time, capacitor will be open circuited. When the capacitance is open circuited, okay, the feedback will not be played in the gain. So the gain value will become 0. As the gain value will become 0, the voltage will become saturated voltage. Okay, so infinite gain will be gain will not be become 0. The infinite gain will be produced. So due to the infinite gain, the saturated voltage will be provided across the output side. Okay, so this is what happening for an integrated circuit. So when you give a square input, so this is what happens. When you give a square input, the corresponding slope will happen. So negative slope will happen. This is due to the corresponding resistance and capacitance value. If you change the resistance and capacitance value, the corresponding slope will define. Okay, it will differ. Okay, so when you give negative voltage, you will get a positive rise. When you give positive voltage, you will get a negative rise. So likewise, the square waveform, the triangular waveform will be generated using the integrator. So this integrator can act as a waveform generator. Okay, square waveform to waveform converter. Sorry, it's a waveform converter. So by using integrator, the square waveform can be converted into triangular waveform. So this is another one of the application of the integrator. While considering the practical condition, we have to consider the corresponding reactance value of the capacitors. So you know that reactance of the capacitor value, okay, so the reactance of the capacitor can be represented as, the reactance of the capacitor is given as Xc is equal to 1 by omega c. Okay, that is the reactance value, where omega can be represented 2 by f. So 1 by 2 by fc. So this is the corresponding reactance value of the capacitor. So the output voltage of the integrated circuit can be rewritten as Vout is equal to minus Xc by Rin. Vout is equal to minus 1 by Ri into, okay, Cf integral of Vi of t dt. Okay, this is the equation. Okay, the corresponding output voltage can be represented as minus Xc by Rin into Vin. Neglecting the frequency, the integration will not be considered. So the output voltage will become minus Xc by Rin into Vin for a practical integrated circuit on considering the reactance of the capacitor value. Reactance value. So from this equation, the corresponding gain can be represented as A is equal to minus Xc by Rin. So this will be the corresponding gain equation. So where this guy Xc is equal to 1 by omega c, so that is nothing but minus 1 by 2 by R into Cf. 1 by 2 by f, 1 by 2 by R into Cf. Okay, omega 1 by 2 by f into R, 1 by 2 by f into R Cf, 1 by 2 by f into R Cf. So this will be the gain equation. So if here at this equation f represents the frequency, so if frequency is equal to 0, if f is equal to 0 Hz, when there is no variation, constant means the gain will be equal to the open loop gain. So when the constant input is given, during the time the corresponding frequency will be 0. So when frequency is 0, the corresponding gain of the integrated circuit will become equivalent to the open loop gain. So during that time, the corresponding output voltage produced in the integrator will be equal to the saturated voltage. Okay, the corresponding output voltage will be equal to the saturation voltage. So as well as the frequency increases in the integrator, okay, the corresponding reactance value of the capacitor will reduce. The reactance value of the capacitor will reduce. As the reactance value of capacitor reduces, the output voltage will be reduced, so that we won't get the saturated output voltage. So practical consideration. Okay, so integrator always should be operated in higher frequency ranges only. Okay, so high frequency range, if we make the integrator to operate in higher frequency range, then definitely the corresponding circuit will act as an integrator and you will get a corresponding output voltage. This can be proved by the frequency response of the system. Let's see the frequency response. This is the y-axis. In y-axis, we will consider the gain. Gain will be in dB. Okay, and this is the frequency. So this will be the corresponding frequency response for integrated circuit. Okay, ideal integrated circuit. This is for ideal integrated circuit. So when frequency is 0, the corresponding gain of the system will be more. The gain of the system will be more. So that f is equal to 0 means the corresponding gain will be, maximum gain will be attained, nearly equal to the 100 dB. Okay, 100 dB will be there. And when the frequency is increases at a point, the gain will become 0. Okay, the gain will become 0. This is the normal integrator circuit. In practical integrator circuit, what will happen means, due to the capacitance and the input resistance, Okay, there will be a possibility of happening offset voltage in the integrator circuit. Let's see the integrator circuit. Let's see, this is an integrator circuit. So due to the presence of input offset voltage in the non-inverting terminal of the integrator circuit, okay, the op-amp will distort, go to saturation when open circuit is there. Okay, so this input offset voltage value has to be reduced. Okay, so in order to reduce this input offset voltage, okay, in practical op-amp we go for, so in order to reduce the input offset voltage in practical op-amp, we go for a parallel feedback resistance with the capacitor to avoid the saturation effect. So that what we are planning is, we are planning to parallel additional feedback resistance with the feedback capacitance, so that it could avoid the saturation effect happening in the integrator circuit. So during this time, the corresponding gain of the system will become AV is equal to minus RF by RI. Okay, minus RF by RI. So now at any condition, even though the frequency is 0, there will be some small gain will be there. So due to that gain, the output voltage will not meet the saturation level. Okay, so that in practical integrator, we use a feedback resistance in parallel with the feedback capacitor to avoid the saturation effect happening in the integrator circuit due to the frequency variation. And also, it is advisable to operate the integrator circuit at higher frequency compared to other circuits. Okay, this practical integrator is also called as a lossy integrator circuit. This practical integrator circuit is also called as lossy integrator circuit. So this integrator circuit response will change due to the addition of the feedback resistance. So the corresponding, even though zero frequency is there, so you will get a smaller gain only, and it will reach a further thing, it will maintain a thing, maintain the, it will start to reduce. So up to this frequency level, okay, up to this frequency level, okay, the corresponding integrator will produce a constant gain. After that, the gain will reduce as the frequency increases. So this level will be called as the corner frequency, okay, or cutoff frequency. This FC can be considered as corner frequency or cutoff frequency. Okay, so when the input signal, okay, the input frequency F in, okay, when the input frequency is less than the cutoff frequency, then the output will act as a inverting amplifier. It's a very important thing. When the input frequency is less than the cutoff frequency or corner frequency, the output for the integrator will act as an inverting amplifier. The output will be a inverting amplifier. Okay, so when the input is greater than the corner frequency, when the input is greater than the corner frequency, okay, during that time the output will be an integrator circuit. So in the time period, this is the practical integrator operation time period. Okay, so during this time period, the practical integrator will act as an integrator circuit. Okay, so normally the input frequency always, okay, the input frequency will be 10 times the corner frequency or cutoff frequency. So we have to give an input frequency for an integrator circuit which should be 10 times more than the cutoff frequency or corner frequency. This cutoff frequency or corner frequency will be represented as Fc is equal to 1 by 2 pi into, it represents the feedback resistance and capacitance. Okay, this is due to the RF by RI value. So this is due to the RF and CF. That is nothing but the feedback resistance and feedback capacitance. So by considering the feedback resistance and capacitance, the corner frequency or cutoff frequency level of the integrator circuit will be defined. So from this cutoff frequency, the input frequency should be 10 times more than the corresponding cutoff frequency. The input frequency should be 10 times more than the not equal, it's 10 times more than the corner frequency or cutoff frequency. Okay, and also the frequency level at which the gain becomes 0 is represented as f naught. That is the initial frequency, okay, or fundamental frequency. So the corresponding fundamental frequency can be written as the equation to find out the fundamental frequency when the gain becomes 0. The frequency at which the gain becomes 0 is given as f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi Ri into Cf. 1 by 2 pi to Ri Cf. So this is the, by using the input resistance and the feedback capacitance, the corresponding frequency level at which the gain will become 0 will be identified. So the integrated circuit should be operated between this frequency level, and if the frequency is 10 times more than the corner frequency, if the input frequency is 10 times more than the corner frequency, means definitely the corresponding practical integrator circuit will act as an integrator, and it will convert the corresponding input sinusoidal signal to the cosine signal as well as the square to the triangular signal. Likewise, the integration process will happen in op-amp circuit. So this is what about the integration process happening in op-amp circuit. Thank you.